Most days, I feel like my life goes downhill every time I see a THX trailer or THX box set. I bet you know what I fear the most. Don't know? Well, I'll say it again. The characters getting killed, the jump scares, what's at the end, or what's scaring the most. I'm about to tell you about the next box set I've encountered. The source material this time was animation studio named Toonbox Entertainment. For those who are not familiar with this company, Toonbox Entertainment is a company in Canada that has produced movies like The Nut Job and Spark: A Space Tale. However, something disappoint me is that two of the recent films, not counting the first Nut Job movie, bombed at the box office. Those movies would be Spark: A Space Tale and The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. But clearly I'm not here for my opinion on this company. The story I'm about to tell you is another THX box set involving Toonbox Entertainment. It all began when I was at a place called the Water's Edge in Oakland, California. Excuse me. My mom and I were visiting our grandfather who was possibly on the edge of passing away. When we finished visiting, we walked down to this place called the Salvation Army. We went in there. Where was I? Right. My mom looked for some cheap house objects, so I bought some familiar videotapes and DVDs. After about a few minutes of looking, I found another THX box set. The cover consisted of Surly from The Nut Job and Spark from Spark: A Space Tale on what appeared to be a yellow background. The box set was entitled Toonbox Entertainment: The Ultimate THX Collection. I found it as possibly an incredibly short box set as it only had two characters on it. So I bought it and showed my mom what I had found. When I went home later on. My mom then informed me that she had to go a doctor's appointment to go to. After she left, I took out the films that were in the box set, which included the first two Nut Job movies and Spark: A Space Tale. That's when I saw the rare DVD inside the box set. The cover of the rare DVD had the same two characters in gray colored boxes. The DVD was titled The Rare THX Trailer Made by Toonbox Entertainment. I recognized the DVD had absolutely no rating, especially no exempt classification rating. By watching this for a good view, I inserted the DVD to my DVD player and it began. The first thing that popped up was the Universal logo from 2013 to present. It had shown previews for films like Minions, The Rise of Gru, and The War of Grandpa. After that, it went to the language menu in a green background. The languages included Spanish, French, Italian, Korean, and Japanese. I selected English and I showed a montage of the first three Toonbox 13 movies in film order before directing me to the menu. The menu consisted of Surly, Spark, and Andy in different colored boxes, including text. The menu options included were play, scene selection, setup, and bonus features. I also recognized that the menu's background color was almost similar to the hit Entertainment box set, which I'm going to read in another time, but with a more brighter color. I hit play and it showed once again, another warning. This time, the warning said, "This lost THX show you're about to see was made from the theatrical release of Open Road's new film, Separation, despite not being THX certified. It also contains disturbing scenes that are not meant to be viewed by children or people with sensitivity issues. Watch this trailer at your own risk." Alright, let's do this, I muttered. The trailer began with shot of Liberty Park as seen in The Nut Job 2 by Nature at night. Starting with sipping on a tree branch while Andy, who could be heard in the distance, said, "All animals unite for..." Sorry. "All animals unite for a meeting." Sterling got up when he heard that voice. All the animals, including Precious, along with her husband Frankie and their 3 kids, were there. They all walked up to the exit of the park. Andy began the meeting with, "Okay, everyone, listen up. Over the past few hours, I've been going around town hearing some strange rumors about somebody killing a lot of innocent people and various other characters. So as long as we all stay together, this killer should not enter our territory." The animals gasped when he mentioned it. Redline did his usual quote saying, "We're all gonna die!" Surly asked, "Was it perhaps the old orders in the nut shop?" Eddie replied with, "That is a tough one, Surly, but let's pretend that the robot is in our imagination." All of a sudden, they began hearing Texas evil laughter. Andy gasped, but her gasp sounded more like Arthur from the TV show the same name by PBS. "He's here," Andy said, getting very nervous. The animals began looking around, wondering where the noise came from, and then Tex dropped down in front of the animals. Surly gasped in shock. Tex then began to speak. "Hello there, little critters. Is it peanut butter I smell?" As I could tell, Frankie and the three puppies were nowhere to be seen as if they hid from Tex. Suddenly, Andy began confronting Tex. Andy started the confrontation with, "Listen here, I've heard many rumors of you being a psychopath to almost everyone. You are to leave this park now before we attack you." Sully then said, "I agree with Andy. If the nutshop were alive and we had you in there, we could have trapped you inside as the boiler exploded." Tex said, "Oh, really? I have some very decent plans to kill you guys. Let's make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the T-Rex." He then pulled out an AK-47 and shot every animal in sight. But Sterling and Andy weren't the victims of that shooting. The animals began screaming in agony as they got shot. Sterling and Andy were hiding behind a tree. Andy was in tears. "Surly?" Andy asked. "Yes, Andy?" Sully replied. "Sometimes I think the nut shop would have been a better place." "Excuse me again," Andy said. Just then, Tex threw down in front of the two squirrels while saying, "Well, little guys, since you two ran away, I'm afraid you're going to have to face the consequence." Tex had put a piece of duct tape over the chest of the two squirrels and threw out a large rock. The two squirrels screamed and cried for mercy. Tex threw a rock at them, as the two squirrels later died. After he killed every animal in the park, he then went around Oakton with a flamethrower and proceeded to burn the entire city. As he did that, I could hear the screams of the people, and I could also hear the sound of multiple babies crying in the process. Tex's laughter could still be heard. The scene then cut to black as the sounds fade out. But the trail wasn't done yet. It cut to the garbage dump from Spark, a space tail. Spark and Vex were doing what looked like a duel. As they kept dueling, Tex peered out of the trash. Tex and let out an evil laugh and later said, "Hello, unlucky Sparkies." Spark and Vex gasped in fear. I turned around and saw Tex. "Who are you? Are you working for Emperor Zong?" Spark asked. Tex then said, "No, but I am working for someone else, which I won't mention. Now I'm going to murder you all." Vix then told Tex, "Hey, if you try to murder us, we'll get someone to take you in. Now leave this place." Tex replied to her saying, "Will you know what I'm going to do to you?" Spark and Vix responded with, "What is it?" Tex pulled out a flamethrower and said, "I'm going to make some fox meat." He started the flamethrower and charged at Vix. As Vix burned, she screamed. But it sounded more realistic as her actor, Jessica Biel, was in pain. Spark made a run for it, but Tex was on his path. As Spark kept running, Chuck threw a rock at Tex and said, "You leave us alone. You don't deserve to be here." Tex said, "Is that so, Piggy? Take this, sucker." Tex started Chuck with a chainsaw as he began killing him. Chuck then screamed like he was in agony. After that, Spark then hit Tex with his staff a few times and said, "This is your last warning. Get away from this garbage dump now." Tex then got up and said, "Nah, I won't. Goodbye, little monkey." He then took out a spear and stabbed Stark into the chest as he was killed. Spark's dead corpse somehow terrified me. Then I felt the urge to vomit, so I paused the DVD, went to the bathroom, and vomited. I then unpaused it as it was at a black screen for 5 seconds. And then cut to a shot of the THX logo as it appears in the Mucan trailer. On the floor, Bolt Spip from the TV series of the same name can be seen completely dead. And no, Bolt Spip did not appear in Spark. And then the Screaming Deep note played. But it belonged to many other Toonbox characters like Chloe does as Surly, Andy, Redline, Spark, Chunk, and Vix. The screams were loud, but not loud enough to hurt my ears, which is a rather good thing. Tex had dropped down like he did in the Mucan trailer. He held at the head of who appeared to be Cal Brunker, a director of the second Nut Job movie. I gasped at the sight of it. Tex spoke by saying, "Hello there, Sparkies. The T-Man is back at it again by killing your favorite characters from an animation studio called Toonbox Entertainment. It's because you people fear me and my company, so I'm getting revenge by making you watch your favorite characters get killed by me. I also killed one of the directors in the movie featured in the trailer. Now remember this, unlucky Sparkies. If you ever fear me, my company, or the villains from any of the Toonbox Entertainment movies, I will find you, your family, your address, your city, and every person you know. Sayonara, and to all a good night." Tex dropped the head of Cal Brunker, flew off into the dark sky while evilly laughing. The slogan dropped down saying the audience is listening, but the text was red color like blood. It then faded to black. It stayed like this for about 5 seconds. When I was about to eject the DVD, it showed one more thing that scared the crap out of me. It was an edited picture of Surly in the scene from the first Nutjob movie where Surly and Buddy begin looking for food, and they come across the Nutjob, which Surly looks at a sign in the shop. However, his eyes were red with black pupils like in that Kill Me Baby trailer, which I'm also going to read very later on, and he was crying blood. It was accompanied by the infamous gut-wrenching Howie scream and a very loud version of a woman screaming. It takes me back to the menu. I was completely scared watching that trailer. My mom came home just in time when I showed her the trailer. She believed me. The next day, I wrote an email to Toonbox Entertainment and THX. They told me that Adam Kennington was responsible for making the trailer. They then later fired him from the studio after what he made. I do believe there are more box sets like this out there, so if you come across them, leave it be and move on.